Hey guys, doing well today. So for today's video, I thought I'd give you guys my prediction, for the inaugural season of Super Rugby Pacific. It's only 1 month away, so we're getting close, obviously, towards the competition starting. So I thought I'd give you guys my opinion, obviously, of who I think will obviously do well and who, just won't have the best of years, to say the least. But of course, we are doing a similar video towards the last one. It's kind of ranking these 12 Super Rugby teams in order of 5 different sections, obviously being finalist, not your day. Just made it, bowled it, and yeah, you just gave up, really. But that's kind of the way I'm separating, obviously, these teams. But before we do this, obviously, guys, like this video, guys, and subscribe to the channel, guys. Do it right now. Obviously, we want to get to 1K, so that's the goal for this year. So, guys, click that red button and subscribe. But let's just straight into this. So, of course, we'll start off with the Brumbies. The Brumbies, they're probably one of the best teams, you could say, within the Australian conference. I don't think really anyone could argue that. And obviously, they have brought in a lot of good players, obviously, and I don't think they really got off. They had to let go of some players, but I think they gave a lot towards the Western Force, which I think was kind of odd, but I guess I understand it. But they have brought Jesse Mogg back, an ex-Brumby to say the least, so obviously excited to see what he can do, obviously, with the long boot of his. But I think they will make the playoffs. I think that's probably a safe bet to say, but do I put them in not your day or just made it? Because I realistically think that they won't make the final. I could be wrong with that, but I think because of that, I'm gonna put them at, it just wasn't their day. So I'm gonna say it just wasn't your day. So yeah, not your day. Okay, well, next one, obviously, we do have the likes of the Chiefs. Of course, the Chiefs, they've made a few decent signings, I'd say, obviously, throughout this camp, you could say, off the off-season. The big one, obviously, being Josh Oney from the Hollanders, snapped him up, which is obviously a good, good addition, obviously, towards their side, with the likes of Damien McKenzie, obviously, now playing in Japan for, just a sabbatical, but still, they won't obviously see him for this season. But, they have got the return of Brody Metallic, so it's obviously a big addition, obviously, towards the Chiefs, and a huge bonus, to say the least. I mean, that combination of Retallick and Tupovala should be very, very good, in my opinion. But, I think, to be completely honest, with the loss of McKenzie, I think it's too much of a loss for me to say that they'll make the semis. So, for that reason, I actually think, you know what? I think I think I could put them at just made it, because I think just made it is kind of a good way to say they'll make the playoffs, but they won't make the semis. So, I'm going to say they just made it. But, here we go. Boom. Okay, so obviously with the next team, we do the likes of the Hollanders. The Hollanders have gone on they've made a decent signing, to say the least. Obviously, they have lost a lot of players as well. The big one, obviously, being Ash Dixon. But, they have brought back an old gun within the likes of, Marty Banks, obviously, kind of controlling that back line, which obviously is a great thing to see. Obviously, with him and Aaron Smith combining, that'll be a great one to see. But, just kind of wish, maybe even Ben Smith can even come back. But, obviously, we'll wait and see what that happens. But, I think with the Hollanders, I don't think they'll do as well as what a lot of people think. I mean, obviously, they are a New Zealand side, so you have to give them credit. They can obviously pull shocks. And they did that last year, obviously, with the Trans-Tasman, obviously, making it towards the final, which, in my opinion, I'll be honest, I didn't see that happening. But I think they are one of those teams that can make it, though. And when I look at the rest of the teams, obviously, I have to rank as well. They could be in the conversation. I might change this, but for now, I'm going to put them at bottled it, but I might go back on that and, maybe change at the end. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, I'm going to put the Hollanders as bottled it. So obviously that just kind of refers to mean, they just missed out on the playoffs, if that makes sense. But obviously we'll now move on, obviously, towards Moana Pacifica, obviously the newest side, one of the new two sides, obviously, towards Super Rugby, and just very excited to see how they get along. Obviously, they've brought in a lot of new additions, which obviously is much needed. I mean, the big one probably being Christian Lealefau. But he's a top player, to say the least, a very top player. So they have brought in some good signings. Obviously they've got in a few players in my Blues. So it'll be we'll see what happens there. But I think they'll have a good season. It's one of those where the difficult thing about them is that they're in the New Zealand conference, so it's much harder for them to actually get a lot of points. But at the same time, they are playing, it is their first energy. They might have a lot of energy going into it. So I won't say they would give it up. I think that's kind of too harsh. But I think they'll be in the same bracket as the Hollanders. So for that reason, I'll say that they've bottled it. I think that's kind of a good way to put it. But anyway, we'll move on, obviously, towards the next team. We do have the likes of the Wartars. And the Wartars, Yeah, they haven't had the best of off seasons, to say the least. You know, they've lost a lot of crucial players, a lot. I mean, yeah, I mean, what's probably the number one? I mean, they lost Wells, they lost. I mean, Jack Malik was probably the big one. I'd say Jack Malik. You know, he was a huge player, obviously for the Wartars, and now he's obviously left now. So, yeah, it's obviously unfortunate for them. But you know, they have got the return of Michael Hooper, who was by far one of the best players in 2021. So that's a huge addition, obviously, to have him back. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens there. Obviously, they have a new coach, obviously from the MLR, which I'm very excited to see how he obviously gets along. But yeah, it should be interesting to see how what happens there. I mean, they have a young squad, to say the least. They do have a very young squad, so I don't know what will happen in there, but I am rooting for them. You know, they have a soft spot for me, I think. So, but at the same time, I just can't see them doing as well. So, I think I'm gonna have to put them at giving up, the lowest one, unfortunately. But you never know; they could surprise us. They could surprise us. But for now, I'm gonna put them there. Moving on, of course, to the Crusaders. Yeah, I mean, there really is only one place you can put this team. Yeah, you have to put them in giving up. No, just kidding, not giving up. But yeah, no, they're definitely a finalist. I mean, they're a title favorite for sure. I mean, they've been that for the last 6 years, I'd say. So it is incredible how long they've had. I think not even 6 years. I think 2021, 15. I mean, yeah, no, it's around 6 years, I'd say. 6 years they've been kind of title contenders, to say the least. I mean, they've just been sensational to watch, really. Yeah, what more can I say? I mean, my Blues haven't beaten them in a very long time, so I can't really say much about them. But in that sense, but yeah, the Crusaders. I think if no one really puts them in the final, that's kind of I don't know. That's kind of a weird thing to do, in my opinion. Obviously, they just missed out on the Trans-Tasman final by, I think it was like literally 2 or 3 points. So yeah, they'll definitely be hurting from that one. But they have obviously they signed Parliamentary, a very impressive signing, to say the least. So that's definitely going to propel them up, I think, even further on. But, yeah, I think they'll be a finalist. I just can't see them. I just can't put in my head them, like, dropping for any reason. So for that reason, a finalist, I think, makes sense. But anyway, moving on, obviously, towards the Reds. The Reds, they've done pretty well, I'd say. Obviously, last year, winning, obviously, Super Rugby AU. That was a brilliant final, by the way, against the Brumbies. I mean, that whole competition was just brilliant, to say the least. But, yeah, the Reds, they can definitely do it. Obviously, it just depends if they... I think they just do much better at home, so I think it kind of relies on them, obviously, playing their games mostly at home. So if they can obviously get that top spot, then, oof, you never know. But, yeah, I would say... you know what? I think they'll actually make the semis. I think they'll make the semis. So for that reason, I'm going to say the Reds will make the semis. So I'm going to put them at Not Your Day, but I just can't put them in the final because... I don't know. I just think there's one more team who I'm going to come on to later on who I just think is a bit stronger than them at this point in time. But, yeah, the Reds obviously have improved massively. You'd say the resurgence of James O'Connor and obviously, Tim McDermott, Harry Wilson. You got, like, Hunter Pasami. You got, who else? You got, there's a ton of players. I mean, Sakai Loto. I mean, yeah, ridiculous. But, of course, we move on, obviously, towards the Rebels. The Rebels, yeah, I mean... I'm not really sure what to think about them. I mean, they lost probably their star player in Marika Corbetti. So that's probably the biggest loss, I would say, out of any team, to be perfectly honest. That was the biggest loss out of any Super Rugby team. So, yeah, they're definitely going to hurt from that loss. And I just can't see them doing well this season in particular. So, yeah, for that reason, I'm actually going to put them at the bottom of giving up, on the bottom tier, the Celtics, even below the Wartars. But... yeah, I just can't... I mean, I hope they prove me wrong, obviously, but, yeah, I just can't see them doing much damage, obviously. But, of course, moving on, obviously, towards Fiji Dura. This is obviously their first... the second team, obviously, who's getting their first season within Super Rugby. It'll be interesting to see what they can obviously do. I mean, they have a few players in there who I'm actually very excited to see how they get along. I think they have, like, a guy named Tello. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but he just looks sensational. Obviously, he's been playing within Australia, I believe. And I've seen a few highlights of him, and now he's obviously... He's like the number 10 instead of least. He's obviously in the conversation for the 10 spot. But, you have Volopolo there. But you never know. We'll have to see what obviously he can do with Fiji Dura. But, I mean, I'm excited to see what they're going to do, obviously. But I just think... I don't know. Will they do well this season? I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. I think I'll probably have to say... they will bottle it. I can't say giving up because I just don't know. but I will say they will bottle it. I might change that at the end. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, I'll put them at bottled it. Of course, for the third and last team, we do the likes of the Blues, the Auckland Blues, to say the least, my team. They've just improved so much, obviously, last year. Obviously, winning their first title in a very long time, since, 2005, I believe, or 2006? No, actually, no, it was 2003. What am I on about? 2003, I think. But, yeah, it was a great win, to say the least, obviously, against the Hollanders. Yeah, they've massively stepped up, and I think their squad depth is just sensational this year. Obviously, they do the return of Bowden Barrett, obviously, towards the side. We have lost Terry Black, but obviously, with Bowden coming in, that kind of fixes that issue. With the likes of, Roger Tuesa-Czech. I mean, he's going to be, him and Reiko's combination in the centers, that's going to be nasty. But, yeah, I think I really have no choice to put them in the finalist spots. I think that's just kind of a given. I think we all want to see it. We all want to see a Blues Crusaders final. It hasn't happened in a while. So, yeah, we'll now move on to the Western Force. They were, I think they massively improved last year. That might be a bold call to say, but I just think they were brilliant at least. I mean, with a lot of, they brought in a lot of players at least within that season last year. But, yeah, they've brought in a good few players, obviously from the Brumbies, like I said. Bailey Kunze. They have a few players. Matale, I believe, from the Crusaders. That's a huge signing for them, obviously. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they can do, obviously, this season. I actually hope they make the playoffs, but that's a bold one to say, to be perfectly honest. But you never know. They could actually do it. Do I put them in that conversation? You know what? I actually think, I'm actually going to put them in the playoff contention. I'm going to say that they'll make the playoffs. That could be a huge one, but I'll put them in the bracket. They just made it. So, yeah, I'm going to say just made it for the Western Force. But, of course, with the last and final team, obviously, of this ranking, obviously, for this Super Rugby Pacific season, with Hurricanes, obviously, Hurricanes, yeah, they're a great team. I think no matter what, I'm going to put them within the playoffs. I just don't know which area to put them in. I think for now, I'm going to put them in just made it because they have the quality, obviously, but I just don't think they have, kind of the depth to obviously challenge the top four, in my opinion, which are the Blues, Crusaders, Brumbies, Reds. I think they might just miss out, but you never know. They could play a home game, which actually might go in their favor. We'll have to wait and see what happens there, but I mean, I do actually have to move one of these teams from Bolded up to just made it. Yeah, to make it 8. Is it the Hollanders, Moto Pacific, or Fiji Dura? I think for the purposes, I'm going to have to put Hollanders. But you never know. I would love to see Moto Pacifica, but yeah, I think for the purposes, I'm going to have to put Highlanders up into just made it to obviously make it 8 teams, obviously who made the playoffs. But yeah, that's going to be with the video. I mean, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Let me know if you guys agree with my prediction, obviously, for this. Let me know who, obviously, just let me know who you guys want to win. Let me know who you guys think will win, and let me know who you think will be the top try scorer. I want to know that. Just the 2 things. That's all I want to know. But, yeah, guys, other than that, just, guys, have a great day. Obviously, we are 1 month away, obviously, towards Super Rugby, so I thought I'd do this video for you guys. But, yeah, I'm just so excited for this season. But, yeah, let's just get straight into it. But, guys, I'll see you guys next time.